The thing is that we have lost a lot of time to social media, and the problem is because social media are built like slot machines. They keep pumping dopamine into our brains to keep us glued to the screen until our little tiny brainy organs are like drowning in a broth of dopamine. To me, that means 7 hours of screen time a day. That translates to 55 hours per year, or 3.5 months every year of my life lost watching at the screen. And I had to put an end to it. I've always been a tech nerd, and I've always been attracted to technology. I didn't have access to the best technology growing up, at least not until recently when I could finally afford it. But that wasn't necessarily a bad thing. It taught me how to work around hardware limitations and find solutions with whatever I had available. I became the guy you call when your computer keeps freezing and you don't know why. I still don't know why I never pursued a career in that field, but here we are. After removing all the apps, I started serving my time in what I called time jail. Because think about this. Out of all the problems humanity faces, global warming, economic crisis, health emergencies, most of them can be solved if we put our minds to it. What we cannot solve is the unstoppable flow of time slipping through our fingers. As you might have noticed, I'm trying to improve my life and fix some of my addictions. This is another one of them, social media. I couldn't do anything without having my phone in my hand. Am I cooking? There is a YouTube video playing next to me. Am I eating? Either YouTube or Instagram. Lying on the couch, staying in bed, watching a movie, walking down the street. Every moment of my life was accompanied by a screen. And I don't mean that figuratively, I mean it literally. So that's why I deleted social media. I made only one exception to this rule. I kept YouTube on my second phone so I could listen to podcasts and video during my morning walks. But we are gonna talk more about that later. The first 3 days were definitely the hardest because I had removed every single app right from the start. I couldn't leave my phone alone. I kept picking it up only to remember that I had deleted all the apps. That phantom phone feeling made me realize that how plugged in I was. How often I checked social media, how often I looked for that little hit of dopamine. And considering that 99% of the time I was doom scrolling, there was nothing truly valuable for me there. It was just disconnecting my brain and filling it with images and lifestyles that probably weren't even real. The biggest challenge during those first 72 hours was definitely getting rid of YouTube, because it was the platform I used the most. Stripping that away left me in absolute psychological void. Looking back, the reason why YouTube was so hard to let go was how I used to justify that behavior. Every time I did something, there was someone inside my phone talking to me and filling every empty moment of silence. The routine was always the same. 5 to 10 minutes of Instagram, followed by 5 to 10 minutes of YouTube shorts, and then hours spent watching or listening to long-form videos. If you're wondering why I would eventually switch from shorts to longer videos, it's because it felt less guilty and more productive. I already knew that endless scrolling was wasting my life, but I didn't want to admit it. So I looked for an alternative that allowed me to justify my behavior. I convinced myself it was like having the TV on in the background, but it wasn't the same. My attention was constantly being pulled away, and every few minutes I had to pick up my phone and choose another video. But because I completely cut it out right from the start, that loop finally stopped. About after a week, something clicked, and my screen time immediately dropped, but more importantly, I stopped constantly looking for my phone, and I wasn't chasing the dopamine hit anymore. To be completely honest, while doing mindless activities like cooking or walking, I replaced YouTube videos with podcasts. So apparently, I always need someone talking into my brain. That's another problem I have to address in the future. By week 2 of this challenge, I completely stopped missing social media. I no longer felt the urge to send reels to my friend, check updates every few minutes, or see what's happening online. Even YouTube changed. It went from being a platform where I spent countless hours consuming content to a platform where I spend time creating content and trying to make better videos. This experiment didn't affect my social life at all. The people I regularly talk to are still the people I regularly talk to. The only difference is that we don't share reels anymore. We just have actual conversation now. As a tech nerd, I still have that fear of missing out. Part of me worries that I'll miss the latest trend and online discussion, but I'm pretty sure they will find a way to reach me anyway. As the day went by, I realized how much of my social media use was simply consuming time without any real purpose. It created insecurities, frustration, distraction, and unnecessary comparison while failing at the one thing that it was supposedly designed to do: connect people. Recently, I went on a trip where I drove 600 kilometers with two other people. I was the one driving, and more often than not, my travel companions would completely zone out and disappear into Instagram, leaving me effectively alone despite being in the same car. So after 20 days, will I re-download social media? Well, probably not, because I don't feel the need and I don't feel the urge. My productivity got better, I'm more intentional with my time, and I feel way more balanced. I'm thinking to restart using these, which is like a really great product that I bought back in the US and that I was using for the same issue. But it kept my phone like too caged, but I'm thinking to go back to it. By the way, this is not a sponsorship. I'm not thinking to switch to a nothing phone because I believe that is too much for me, because I still want the ability to perform anything that my iPhone will let me. But I will try to keep my life as much social media free as possible. Peace.